Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Times of old, in times of new, there's a God to follow to make it true. It's the pop culture field,
What is going on, pop culture field manual family? We are here sitting right at that intersection of weapons action, the military, and pop culture. For your candy asses. Sorry, I had to do it. Me and Izzy were going on our Dwayne The Rock Johnson kick right before we started rolling this, but that is perfectly okay. And you know what else is okay? The fact that we have a more than okay Patreon for you to check out. Folks, if you are not subscribed and you want more out of this podcast because you're just so enthralled and inspired by the words that Izzy and I say, subscribe to our Patreon. You'll get access to full-length episodes as well as a hell of a lot more. Check it out, patreon.com/PCFM podcast. Additionally, if that's not your jazz, but you still want to support us because you love what we're doing, go to Buy Us a Coffee where you can donate however much you want to the podcast. It keeps us going. It keeps the podcast growing. We truly appreciate it. So if you don't want to Patreon us up, buy us a coffee instead. We would really appreciate it. Additionally, if you want something tangible, you want something to keep you warm this winter, or you want some decorative interior decor, or just something to enjoy your morning coffee at that, we have a solution to everything I just stated. Yes, our merchandise, our Pop Culture Field Manual merchandise page, you can access it through our Instagram, through the link tree in our bio. Check that out. There's some super cool stuff. I really love the hoodie. It's comfortable, and it's got our signature grenade right on the back. It is killer. I wear it almost every day. I'm sure Israel does too. Don't you?
I do, Cameron. Yes. I love that hoodie. Actually, legit.
No,
I
really
wear
good.
it all the time. Oh, my God.
It's good. Oh, my God.
Nothing. It's not appropriate to say on the podcast.
Okay. Well,
I have something else I want to say.
What do you got to say?
Dear mateys, welcome to this very special medieval episode. In today's swashbuckling show, Cam and I will set sail on the high seas and discuss our favorite medieval movies from times long past. Avast! It do be the most medievalist episode yet!
I don't agree with what you just did. It's medieval. It's not pirate. Why are you doing the most with the pirate accent?
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I guess I just didn't know what a medieval accent sounds like.
I mean, it definitely is old, but I don't think they,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, what's with the swashbuckling and the setting sail?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
all that stuff?
Sure. No, I mean, I just thought, people in the Middle Ages had to have gotten on ships at some point, right?
I mean, yeah, very good point. Yeah, you got a point.
Okay, good. So it's a perfect intro is what it was.
He said, okay, whatever. Moving right along. Just, I don't want to spend any more time on that because I'm very confused. But it's okay. Yeah, just good. Yes, folks, medieval times. And we're not talking about the dinner show extravaganza, which honestly has been a long time since. Have you been to a medieval times?
Yeah, just once.
Just once.
It's
Me too,
fun.
when I was really young.
Oh,
it is
okay.
super fun. Yeah, the only thing I remember is dragon soup, and it was just chicken noodle soup, but it was cool because it was dragon soup.
I love
But
it.
anyways, totally off topic. Not really, though, in the sense that
We
is a
can
dinner
talk
show.
about it a little bit, as
Sure.
the show goes on.
I mean, in California, where I don't know if there's like medieval time, which is old, knights dinner shows,
Right.
other than right there in that very specific city, and in Vegas at like the Luxor.
It's nationwide though.
No, not Luxor. It's Excalibur. Is medieval times nationwide?
It's like a franchise, man. There's medieval times in Milwaukee and Jersey and what like they're all over the place. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm googling this right now. 'Cause that place.
And the Pirate Show, I think the same company puts on the smaller venue.
Yeah, I've been to that one too.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's like I don't know, entertainment for the masses. It's just like fun and it's like broad humor and there's horses and you get to eat your drumstick, your chicken drumstick.
Yeah, turkey. Oh man, yeah, they're all over the place. New Jersey, Texas, California, South Carolina, Florida, Ontario. They're even in Toronto. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're in Scottsdale. Very cool. So yeah, if you're have a pulse, you probably know what medieval times is. And if you don't, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Or if you've ever
They
seen
did not
Cable
sponsor this.
Guy, they go to the medieval times in the movie Cable Guy with Matthew Broderick.
Oh, Cable
and Jim
Guy?
Carrey. Yeah,
Oh, that's an old classic.
classic, old.
That is a classic. Old, very
It is
old,
pretty old. It is
comedy.
pretty
But we're not talking about Larry the Cable Guy. Folks, we've wasted so much time just jabbering on. But I think you get the point of today's episode. Izzy and I are going to list some, iconic or some of our favorites or just, medieval movies that are out there that deserve to be talked about because maybe they're good or maybe they're just absolute trash. We're going to find out. So, Izzy, you want to start out? What do you got here?
I got a strong start, Cameron. I love this movie so much. It's one of those. There's a few movies that have cemented my love for the fantasy genre, and this one's like classic fantasy. This is Excalibur from 1981.
Sure.
It's the classic story of the Knights of the Round Table and the Sword and the Stone. Man, it's like it's King Arthur. It's it's Morrigan and what is it? Merlin.
Sir Lancelot.
Yeah,
and
Lancelot. Oh, it's the love triangle, between Lancelot, Guinevere, and Arthur, and it's just great. It's just classic. It starts kind of before it starts with Uther Pendrag, which is Arthur's father, and how he kind of curses his whole family with his lust, after this one woman. In that sense, that sows the seeds for the destruction of the kingdom later on. And then you have young Arthur, and he's mentored by Merlin, and he pulls the sword out of the stone, and he gets all his guys. They get the shining city of Camelot.
Camelot.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's high fantasy. It's wizards and warriors and magic and swords and just knights. Chivalry. It's got a great cast too. A young, very young Helen Mirren, who's still going at it like 70 years later. Liam Neeson as a young man.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Helen Mirren.
You
Who
better
is that?
look her up, man. She's been in everything.
I am doing it right now.
But Patrick
Oh,
Stewart.
this lady.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. And then Nicol Williamson plays Merlin, and he plays such a great Merlin. He's like, got the booming voice, and I am Merlin, and
Yeah, sure.
He really sells it really well. And it's just, it's just awesome. It's it's that classic, fantasy. Fantasy, the genre encompasses so much, but when I think of fantasy, I think of like kind of, I guess you could say European fantasy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. The just tale of King Arthur and Excalibur, that's like, we're probably going to talk about multiple different variations of this classic tale. Because you can't like think about medieval times and not think about the sword and the stone.
Yep.
Or, or the Knights of the Round Table, or even Camelot as a kingdom.
Yep.
Which is, I'm glad you started it off because I figure I'm just going to stay on track.
right.
Actually, it might be a long time since it has been a long time since I've seen Excalibur because I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay.
But I don't remember anything specifically about this because if it's a classic tale, it's the classic tale. Like I know it, I just don't know in this movie what's been highlighted. But you want to know about a pick that I did that's not the classic tale of King Arthur, which actually growing up was one of my favorite movies. Just King Arthur. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
King Arthur from 2004.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this movie because it is I think it's such a good twist on the classic tale because, in the classic tale, he's meant for, to take the throne and to be a leader and pull the sword out of the stone. But in this movie, has nothing to do with that. Like King Arthur is an officer in the Roman army.
Yep.
And he's basically a slave to Rome. And all the knights of the Round Table were taken from their families as young boys to serve in the military until they've repaid a debt or they've earned their freedom. So they're literally slave warriors that they're under the command of Arthur, who he has Excalibur for some reason.
Well, it's like because I think wasn't the legend of King Arthur was supposed to be loosely based on a real person, and I think that's kind of what they were trying to go for with the Clive Owen King Arthur. So it's like there was like pieces of history and lore that somebody at some point gathered together and kind of fancified, and made into the legend of King Arthur and the sword and the stone and all those kinds of things. So I'm sure it's a conglomeration, as a lot of lore and fantasy is. It's like you put stuff together.
Because this one's more ingrained in reality and in actual historical. Because like Merlin, instead of being a mentor, is like an all-time enemy of Arthur. Because Merlin is like the commander of the barbarian army that they're fighting, or what are they called? The Brutons or the... Oh, I don't remember what they're called, but they like dress up like tribesmen and they're just like savages and barbarians.
Yeah.
Almost like Celtic warriors, if you will.
Yeah,
they have,
yeah.
like all the Celtic tattoos and stuff, but they're just like, they rub dirt and they're old warriors.
If they're pits or anything like that.
I love this movie just because I wanted to be one of the Knights of the Round Table, Tristan. Mads Mikkelsen's character was the coolest dude. I thought he was, not as cool as Legolas, but in this, like, very close in my opinion.
That's a high praise.
That is a very high. I think his character is so cool. The fact that like he has the eagle and he's like their scout and he's very quiet, but he's like a fierce warrior.
Yeah.
And I love how he has got like the broadsword.
Yep.
It's like a Chinese broadsword. It's not like your traditional. And I think it splits in half. I'm not sure. If I remember correctly, does his broadsword split in half? I don't think. Maybe it does. But still, I like loved his character. I wanted to be Tristan for Halloween one year growing up. But yeah, I love that version of King Arthur. It's more ingrained in reality. It was kind of my first exposure to Saxons. Because, I don't know, let's go a little historical here, because I was, after watching this movie, I was under the impression that Saxons were the same as Vikings, but somebody told me recently that I was dead wrong.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, folks, obviously I don't have time to Google this right now, and I should have did my research before this, but I didn't. I know there are people out there listening to this podcast at this very second that are going to pull over because you're listening to it in your car, and you're going to shoot us an email, pcfmpodcast@gmail.com, and you're going to explain to me the difference between a Saxon and a Viking, and whether they are the same thing, like I've been under the impression for all my life,
yes,
or that I'm just completely wrong.
I feel like they were people that like were from like northern England, like way north England.
Yeah.
Early during the Roman times that like were up there and then migrated down. I mean, Vikings obviously came from like Norway and Finland and Sweden, those kinds of places. But I don't know when they settled. So it'd be good to know. It would be good to know. Okay.
So apparently, real quick Google, apparently wasn't that detailed. It's just Saxons come from Saxon in Germany. The new Saxons migrated from Saxony, along with the Angles and Jutes from the Danish peninsula in the 5th and 6th centuries to England. Saxons are not Vikings. Vikings came from Denmark, Norway, Sweden from the late 8th to the 11th century. Oh, so Saxons are before Vikings.
Okay.
Interesting. But nice. I guess like in the movie, they like have the same, armor and shields and, mannerisms because they just like, rape and pillage, I guess. So who knows? But okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe save you guys the stop and just keep driving because that explains a lot. But yeah. King Arthur, really cool movie. One of my favorites of the medieval, category, but not my favorite. But we'll probably get to that later. Izzy, what's next on this list?
Next on my list is The 13th Warrior from 1999.
13th Warrior.
Yeah, it's based on a book by Michael Crichton, actually, who also wrote Jurassic Park. This guy...
Oh, no way.
This guy was a dynamo, man. Michael Crichton died way too young. Antonio Banderas he's a Muslim from from Arabia, I guess the general Arabian area, but he's exiled for falling in love with like the daughter or the wife of another man, and he's exiled. So he's like traveling north, and he meets with all these Vikings at a camp, and then a messenger comes from the northern homeland to say that there's like this mysterious evil that has like started to kill people in the north, and there's like a lady, I forget if it was like a fortune teller lady, and she says 13 guys have to do it. There's 13 men that have to go. And then all these other guys volunteer, and then the woman says, wait, the 13th warrior cannot be a man of the north. And everybody kind of looks to Antonio Banderas. He's like, wait, what, me? And so like, you got to come with us now. And so he takes this journey into the north to go fight with these Vikings, and he like learns about them. He learns their language, and there's like animosity at first, but then he begins to like grow and fight with them. And it's just a really great kind of hero's journey for him, like a great arc for him. And all the Vikings, it was like such a great like all these Viking dudes, each one had kind of his own unique personality, especially the king, that is with them, and the kind of the leader of their band. And so it's like one of those like ensemble pieces that like you enjoy every one of the characters, and then some of them not all of them make it, and so it kind of becomes like poignant kind of towards the end. They're kind of getting killed off,
I mean, that's the whole reason why I loved the King Arthur, because each Knight of the Round Table had their complete own personality, and they were almost all protagonists besides Arthur. You almost don't like Arthur in that movie. You like the rest of the crew. Like, you like Lancelot. I'm sorry, Lancelot's swords came in too, not Tristan's, now that I'm thinking. But yeah, that's super interesting. I do find it quite peculiar that Antonio Banderas is playing, a Middle Eastern guy.
That was back when you could do stuff like that back then,
You mean back when like you can make movies like Highlander and have Sean Connery play the Spaniard and have no accent at all, just be Sean Connery as a Spaniard?
Sean Connery could never be anybody but Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. No. And that's funny because the Highlander is on this list too, but because that is a crazy medieval movie as well. There can be only one.
Yep.
But you couldn't remake that movie now.
No, you definitely couldn't. Could, but you just have to get somebody who's actually an Arabic actor, because they don't allow for any kind of cross-cultural casting anymore.
No way, Jose, not in this country. But 13th, going back, sorry, totally sidetracked that.
Oh no, it's fun.
It's fine. But 13th Warrior, I actually haven't seen this one.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. I would add that to the very long list that you have. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it is, which is funny because what movie did I watch the other day? Oh yeah, I was on a plane. I only watch movies on a plane. But let's see, I think I tried to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once again. And no, I watched Bullet Train. That's what I did. I watched Bullet Train.
Okay.
And I actually liked it a lot, but that's totally side topic.
That looks like
Bullet Train is actually really fun. It's very fun, and there's like a lot of witty, crazy characters, and it's funny, but the action sequences are good. I think you like it. But yeah, 13th Warrior, I actually came across this one when I was doing research for like some of the movies on this list, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
But I did this research last night, so I didn't have time to watch any like I usually do. But no, I'll definitely add this one to the list. It looks pretty cool. Just like you said, I like the movies that are centered around giving each character or warrior a specific personality.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
all
do.
about it.
Oh, okay. I confirmed it. I was doing some research just now. John McTiernan directed it. He also directed the first Die Hard movie. So great pedigree with the director there.
Okay, I gotcha. Oh wow. Do you know what I just didn't realize that should be on this list totally? Beowulf.
Oh, Beowulf. Very good one. Is that medieval, though? Because, listen, I got a gripe I got to bring up, but we can let you finish your thought.
Okay, what classifies medieval?
Yeah, well, see, okay, it's the time period, right? It's not, medieval period is like a time, and if you go too far back, it's not medieval anymore. It's just like, I don't know if it's like ancient or whatever time period would you want. But
early evil.
Because listen, I was doing some research and I was looking at other people's lists to kind of jog my memory, and Conan the Barbarian came up a couple of times, and that is not
really?
That's not a medieval movie.
Not medieval. That's way before.
Conan the Barbarian specifically says the events happen after the seas drank Atlantis and before the rise of the sons of Arius, which even the sons of Arius are ancient history. So you can't, like the medieval time period is like the 5th century to like the 15th century. Okay.
Yeah. So I have it right here. It says people use, and this comes from history.com. So you know it's fucking true.
You know it's true.
It says people use the phrase Middle Ages to describe Europe between the fall of Rome in 476 CE. What's CE?
Oh, it's how they got rid of Jesus and everything. It's the Common Era. It's BCE before the Common Era, and then CE or ACE after the Common Era. So you don't want to say BC, but it's because it's before Christ, and then AD is Anno Domini, which stands for in the year of our Lord, which is like all very Christian. So they don't want to talk about Jesus, so they call it BCE and then like ACE or CE, the Common Era, which is actually because the year hasn't changed, so we're still technically going off of the Christian calendar, so Christians still win.
Okay. I did not follow any of that, but it came from 476 CE and the beginning of the Renaissance in the 14th century. So anywhere between that time is the Middle Ages. So yeah, definitely Conan does not fall between that. But when did Beowulf happen?
That's what I was wondering.
is a legend. It's
Beowulf is a legend, but Beowulf. Time period. Well, I mean, I'm sure the poem itself is super. Oh, 6th century Scandinavia. You're good. You're good.
We're good. It's Middle Ages.
All right, yeah.
6th century Scandinavian. Okay, yeah, it is middle aged.
All right.
Then let's talk about Beowulf because that shit is popping, man.
Which one though? Because this has been told a couple times. You talk about the animated movie. With Ray
I like
Winestone.
the animated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
That's an epic. I mean, obviously, there's been so many variations of Beowulf.
Yeah.
If you grew up on Sci-Fi Channel growing up, you've seen like every single one.
And can I do an interesting bit of trivia, Cameron?
Sure.
Anthony Hopkins, who's like the king in the beginning of the movie before he kills himself, he jumps off the. Once the curse has been passed, his body was obviously that's not his body, so they scanned somebody else's body to be like, oh, that's a fat body. I know. The actor whose body was his body in that movie.
What an honor.
Yes. He could never take credit for it because it was like a non-union, like a day of work. They just scanned his fat body. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of embarrassing. Like, that fat thing right there, that's me.
That's my body. That's my fat body. But you got paid for it.
That's cool, and I wouldn't put that under my IMDb.
Fat body of Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, fat body of Andrew Hopkins. But no, I like the obviously this is a fictional thing, but as I've said in previous episodes, I love monsters, right?
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with like monsters or fantasy creatures.
Yeah.
I'm super like all about it. So Grendel's son and like Grendel herself.
Oh yeah.
That was super cool. I mean, in the cartoon too, the son of Grendel was like terrifying. You know? He was all deformed and giant and just screamed all the time.
Yep.
And just ripped people to pieces like it was nothing. But obviously Grendel and Angelina Jolie, that was just like, damn, son.
Yep.
Little boy boner. Call the little boy boner police.
What are these feelings that I'm feeling inside?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm tingling all over. But yeah, it's terrible. But no, I mean the action sequences, and I think like Beowulf, just like as a character himself, just super hardcore. Mm-hmm. Just he's. I mean, it was you said it was Nordic times.
Yeah.
He was like it was a Viking tale.
Yeah, Denmark, Sweden. Yeah.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Viking tale, so obviously, like, Beowulf encompassed all of the primary characteristics of what they thought, like, a king should be, like a Viking king should be, and he was. So he was just a badass, man's man. He cut his own wood, made his own beef jerky type of shit.
Yep.
And, Beowulf is just an epic tale, and, it's going to be around for a long, long, long time. But there's like variations of like through the same story, just in different cultures. Because I'm pretty sure there's like in Germany, there's a story similar to Beowulf, but instead of like Grendel, it was a dragon slayer.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm sure these kinds of stories, this mythology, like gets adapted, too. I mean, people even even accusations about like the Jesus Christ not being Jesus. Like he's just like there's like ancient other stories about gods and stuff like that. They've all been debunked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They've all been debunked.
they of course yeah. I'm just gonna say that outright. But yeah, but no, it's like they get told and they travel around, and then they get adapted to like different cultures and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a game of telephone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the only reason I bring that up is because the hometown that my dad grew up in Germany was like the hometown of where that story like took place.
Oh wow!
So like they have like a plaque where it's like this is the city of the dragon. This is like the home of the dragon slayer. Blah blah blah. And there's a lot of rich history in Germany. It's super cool. Have you been to Germany?
I've been through Germany for about 8 hours. That was on my way back from Iraq.
Okay, but you've never. Then so you're just stuck at Ramstein or something.
Ramstein,
No, you didn't get to go out. But oh my god, that place is like a melting pot of just old shit. Like if you like old stuff, you go to Germany and you were surrounded.
Where's the castle at? That big, that very iconic, beautiful castle up on the hill.
Well, first of all, when you say where's the castle at in Germany, Germany's only made of castles. It's probably the Heidelberg Castle.
Oh, okay, Heidelberg Castle.
Yeah, Heidelberg Castle. I mean, there's a castle in Heidelberg, and it's like that's literally 15 minutes of where my family lives out there.
Yeah.
But they got like this. It's like there's a river that runs in front of it, and like it's on the side of a hill, and it's really big. Germany is like castle country. There's castles everywhere. But yeah, but Beowulf, super cool.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this one. This is. I mean, I got to cut some of these out because otherwise this show is going to be like 2 hours long. But I got to get this one on there. 1988, Willow. Best medieval fantasy movie of all time? Possibly. Like,
confession, I've never seen Willow. I know
another classic.
I know of the actor because before we got on this podcast, I was watching Narnia, Prince Caspian, and he's totally in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
One of only a few kind of short or dwarf actors that really kind of like made a name for himself. Warwick Davis, he was Wicked.
Yeah, Warwick Davis,
the little teeny, the what do they call him? The guy.
I love your adjective.
Return of the Jedi, little teeny guy.
Is it dwarf?
Dwarf?
Yoda?
What's the
Yoda?
No, not Yoda. He's the furry guys. The Ewok.
Oh, Ewoks.
That's my brain today. Ewoks. Yeah, he was the little Ewok Wicket. That was, and he was like 12 years old, so he was even smaller than he was when he did Willow.
Sure.
But Willow was great, man. 1988. You want to talk about diversity in casting, man? Like half that cast is short people. They actually had a hard time finding people for the village to be in the movie because they couldn't find enough short people.
Yeah, man, they should have sent me an email. I was like, yeah,
yeah, man. But another classic fantasy. It's heroes and villains. It's the evil witch, Bavmorta. There's a prophesied child that is supposed to be the one that's going to signal the end of her reign. The Princess Alora Dannon. And the moment she's born, her mom is in prison. She's born, and she has the mark. And then a kindly handmaiden takes her away and sneaks her away. But then the handmaiden gets killed, and it's this classic Moses story where she puts the Alora Dannon in a little basket. And the basket floats down the river, and then it's found by Warwick Davis and his family, Willow, in this little what are they called? Dakinis, they're called.
That's his race.
That's his race. The Dakinis. There's the short one, the short people. And so, no, Daikinis are Daikinis humans? Oh, okay. Yeah. Daikinis are humans, and then his race is called something else. I can't remember, but anyway. And then he's a hero's journey, right? He wants to be a wizard, but he lacks confidence in himself, so he just volunteers to take the baby out of the village because everybody's looking for her, right? And he tries to give it to. They come across Val Kilmer, man, who plays Mad Mardigan. It's one of the best roles that he's ever done. Doc Holliday from Tombstone. And he's an amazing swordsman, but they find him like he's in this like prison cage on the side of the road, and he's kind of a dirtbag, right? He's very selfish, but then he learns even in the course of the movie to kind of be loyal and be a friend to Willow, and they have a friendship, and then Willow in his own way starts becoming a great wizard. It's just awesome. It's got monsters. It's got the evil General Kale, with his his
skeleton
razor sword.
mask.
Yeah, skeleton faced man. Awesome. Strong female roles. Like it's strong females are all over this. You've got Princess Sorsha, who has a love interest with Val Kilmer eventually, and she's awesome. And then the evil queen is awesome. She's the evil witch queen. And then even they have to find this wizard or this sorceress. She's like a marmot at first. She was cursed, and then they got to turn her into a human. She takes a couple different forms throughout the movie, but I'm butchering it. You guys are yelling at your radios right now, like that's her name. Say her names.
Have you told me why you love this movie?
Why I love this movie?
Is it because you like the strong female roles and you like the hero's journey? What is it about Willow that makes it to you the best medieval movie of all times, as you stated?
Right, as I stated. I mean, so classic hero's journey, right?
Classic
like we're talking Hero of a Thousand Faces. Like he starts in one place, he leaves, he goes on a journey, he gains knowledge, he eventually comes back. Great acting. His acting, Val Kilmer, Sorsha, Bavmorda. The wizard, and then he's got these little brownies, these little elf dude or the little mini dudes that are like his companions. They're super small. They're like 5 inches tall. So the story moves well. It's a well told, obviously well formatted story. Everything's like strung out really well. Great arcs for everybody. Val Kilmer has an arc. Sorsha has an arc. And then it's just like there's writing stuff. There's things that I'm not a writer, but I notice in movies that if they're in there's like basic elements that if they're in a movie, generally speaking, the movie is a good movie, and all those elements are in Willow. Like it was directed by Ron Howard when he was really young. It was produced by George Lucas, and he helped out kind of mold and shape the story, and there's just fun set pieces, and it's exciting, adventure and a little bit of romance, and then at the end he comes back and he becomes, he brings the knowledge back home, just like that classic kind of hero's journey type. So, and I think since from a young age, I've always been partial to fantasy, just like the high adventure. And this is like a perfect example of that.
Big fan of, always been a big fan of Middle Ages. I would always go. You ever been to a Renaissance fair?
Yeah, man, I love the Ren Fair. I went just before the pandemic hit in 2019. I went for my first time. And actually this year I went again. Yeah, with the lady. So.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me they had the big old one. I've never been, and I really want to go.
So good.
So yeah, we'll have to go next year. But yep, that's all I got for that. But folks, hell yeah, we hope you enjoyed this list.
What would you add to your list?
Yeah, what would you add? Let us know at pcfmpodcast@gmail.com because our email is back up and running.
Back, baby.
Which is amazing. Yeah, we are back in the saddle. But we have a fan question, and this one is anonymous. Ooh, anonymous. And they want to know. So if this was you, let us know. They would like to know, if you were stuck on a desert island with one movie from each major genre, what would those movies be? Oh, man, this is a terrible...
so comedy, action, horror,
comedy, action,
fantasy,
horror,
sci-fi, rom-com,
I can't.
Drama.
This is gonna be too long.
I mean, we don't have to do all the categories. You can give me like your top 3 or 5. Yeah.
We'll do comedy, action, horror, fantasy, sci-fi.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Okay, comedy.
Oh, comedy. Let's see. Let me do action. If there's one movie that I never get tired of watching. Lady Hawk. Lady Hawk's going to take my fantasy. I could watch Lady Hawk over and over again.
Okay, Lord of the Rings will take my fantasy because, technically it's a franchise, so it'd be movie after movie.
You just take all of them? All 3 of them?
So I'll just say Lord of the Rings blanket statement. Easy. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi, easy, aliens. Watch it till the end of time.
Okay, I will say Starship Troopers for sci-fi.
Ooh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, just because it's fun. It's a fun one. Horror, that is a hard one. I'm
not a big horror guy,
Yeah, I know.
Well, I guess the first Alien is a sci-fi, but I put that in the horror genre too. It's like suspense,
Yeah, it would be a horror. I would consider that a horror. Let me just move on to action then.
Ooh, I do The Exorcist. That's Exorcist, like classic horror. Yeah.
There's so many good horror movies out there. I can't pick one off the top of my head. I'll just put one that scared the absolute piss out of me. I'll put Sinister. Is it Sinister?
Okay, yeah.
Just double check. Sinister. Yeah, I'll put Sinister on there. That one scared the absolute piss out of me, I remember. We're just like, this is like a lightning round.
Yeah, there you go.
Action, Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, that's totally legit. I would do the Matrix, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Matrix, and then
Yeah, that can go either.
comedy. What do I never get tired of watching? What always makes me laugh? You know,
I love role models. Honestly, I'm going to put Step Brothers on there because I think it's absolutely... Step Brothers is hilarious, and every time I see it, I can quote that entire movie and just die laughing.
I love just. Do you think? The Mask. I could do the Mask all day. Man.
The Mask. That's random, but good pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mask, man. That's a good one.
Okay. Good.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that was way faster than I thought we were gonna do. But all right. Let us know, also that's a fun one for you guys to play if you want to, pick those 5 topics there: comedy, action, sci-fi, fantasy, and and horror. Send us your list. We'd love to, see what you guys got. But all right, it is that time. What time is it?
Game time, baby. Prime time.
What time is it? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Yeah. Game time, baby. And I am the game master.
Oh.
So, and I'm literally going to read this, and it's very, very appropriate. Welcome to hell. That's what Chris wrote. Or at least a place that hell is adjacent. It's this game is called, I don't even know what that means, Chris. This game is called Sticks and Stones May Break My Bones, but Swords Will Always Kill Me. And I'm going to give you the name of a sword, and you tell me what's it from. That's it. Oh, super easy.
Wow, nice. Cool. He's so good at coming up with games.
He's so good. I know. Okay. But are you ready, my friend?
Ready,
so
man.
Easy, give you the name of a sword. For the warm-up, you get this one, but the Buster Sword.
Oh, the Buster Sword, that's from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, perfect. Yep,
Yeah.
So you got it. You just tell me what it's from, and I'll give you the name of the sword. Are you ready, my friend?
Ready, man. Good warm-up.
Okay, here we go. First one. The Hattori Hanzo sword.
Hattori Hanzo sword, that would be from Kill Bill. That's her sword that she gets from Hattori Hanzo.
Very good. Easy. I think you're going to do really good on this one, man, honestly.
All right.
But okay, moving right along. This one's a little bit of an easy one, but you'll probably get it. Here we go. Round 2, Sting.
Sting. Oh, great. Classic sword. It's actually originally, I guess, from The Hobbit, but it's also Lord of the Rings. He gives it to Frodo.
Yeah, there you go, man. You got both of them, so awesome. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, you're killing these ones. I'm pretty confident you're going to do really good. Maybe until the end here. But we'll see. Yeah. But okay, here we go. Now we're getting warmed. Now we're getting it. All right. Next one is the Power Sword.
The Power Sword.
The Power Sword.
Gosh. The Power Sword. The Power Sword. I feel like that's a lot of different swords. It's not swords. The Power Sword.
The Power Sword. You should get this one.
I should get this one?
I believe you should, because you have literally a personal connection with this.
Oh, man. Well, let me say, if you're going to say, I had an inclination, so let me just say He-Man. It's his sword.
There you go.
Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. The Power Sword.
I have the power.
Yes.
Yeah.
The strongest
If
man
you got it
in the
wrong,
universe.
I was be like, dude, you literally have cosplayed this before.
That was my first instinct, so I should have gone with that instinct. So.
Okay. There you go. Well, you got it right, man.
All right.
Okay. Again, a little harder now. Next round, the Ivory Katana.
The Ivory Katana. Golly. Katana, well, definitely Japanese, right? Katana. Ivory Katana.
Or is it?
Oh, wait a second. But katanas are Japanese.
They are.
Unless I'm uncultured swine.
Yeah, is Kill Bill Japanese?
You're right. But the Hattori Hanzo is Japanese.
It is, yeah.
The Ivory Katana, man, I'm drawing a blank, man. I don't know.
Okay. Are you giving up?
Yep.
You say I quit?
I quit.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, sorry. That was me.
Mate.
But no, it's from Highlander.
Oh, the Ivory Katana. Is that Sean Connery's sword?
I believe so.
Or is that? Yeah, he gets it from Sean Connery because he has it in the end, but it's because Sean Connery got his head cut off.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Anyways, I don't have enough time to look that up. But yeah, you sound right. Okay, moving on. This one is Long Claw. The Long Claw.
Oh, Longclaw is Jon Snow's sword from Game of Thrones.
You got it, man.
Hey.
Yeah. I had no idea that this was an actual his sword was named. This is his Valerian steel sword, right?
Yeah, it's given to him by the Captain Commander.
Yeah, Captain Commander.
Yeah, it's Valerian steel.
Yeah, okay. There you go, man. So you've gotten all these correct except for the ivory katana.
Yeah, every katana.
So you're doing really well.
All right, nice.
We got a couple more left.
All right.
About 4 more left. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This one is called Tsige. Tsaiga.
What? Say that again?
Tsaiga?
Tsaga.
Tsaiga? I don't know how to pronounce
Saga? Maybe like the TS, like Saga? Like Saga?
Tessaiga. Tsaiga.
Sega. Wow. Dude, I don't know, man. That sounds like something maybe from like an anime or something. I'm gonna have to take a pass on this one. I don't know.
I mean, you were in the genre. You got the genre right.
Tell me what it is.
Inuyasha.
Oh, I haven't seen Inuyasha.
I haven't either. That's some OG
some old
stuff,
ski,
right?
Yeah, that's some old school.
Yeah.
Anime.
Is that the? Oh, yeah. I never watched this show. I was like, this is lame. But I don't know. Yeah, that's just me being judgmental. But okay. Moving right along here. Let's see if you can get this one. I'll be surprised if you do. Ashbringer.
Oh wow, Ashbringer. Golly. Ashbringer. People name their swords, I would hate to be the guy that named his sword something awesome and then like got killed instantly in battle.
Oh yeah, and you just drop it.
I'm gonna call mine Warriors, the Warrior's Bane, and then then just the first battle, just Ashbringer. That I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell. I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. I'll be surprised if I've seen this.
Okay. Well, it is a sword from sorry. It is a sword from World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Okay, that I'm not surprised. I've never played World of Warcraft, so.
Yeah, no. It's a pretty like famous sword that is, it has a lot of story behind it. I don't feel like explaining it, but it has to do with
you
like,
could, which is why I respect it.
I could. Yeah, it's basically, it was I don't even want to do it. It's a lot. It's a lot. It has roots.
Google it.
Yeah, if you guys want to know, just Google Ashbringer roots and go on Wowpedia, and it's like a 4-paragraph explanation of just where it ends up. But anyways, yeah, dude. Okay, almost done here. You got 2 more. The next one is the Green Destiny.
Green Destiny. This is the sword from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even know what that was.
Legendary sword. I loved that movie. The special connection to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon that I have, other than it being a great movie, is that was the movie that I went to go see where I saw the first trailer for the first Lord of the Rings movie. And I was like so excited. Yeah, the hand grabbing the ring. And then like it shows them all, like it shows when they were going to be released year after year. It's like them all coming over the hill for the first time. Oh
my God.
Oh, it's so cool, man. Yeah.
That's
but anyway,
great.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, great. Green Destiny, the legendary sword. But it's not the sword, it's the person using it.
That is true. That is true. All right, man. Well, you got that one. Super impressive. But let's see if you can get this last one. Are you ready, good sir?
Yep.
Okay, and I hope I can pronounce this correctly. The Atlantean sword.
Atlantean sword. Golly. Atlantean sword from the city of Atlantis. After the fall, when the seas drank Atlantis to the rise of the sons of Ares. The Atlantean sword sounds like it's from a video game. But that one I'm not so sure. That one it doesn't ring a bell. I'm not sure. I give up.
You give up on this one? Okay.
Yep.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was until I just Googled it to confirm. And the Atlantean sword is Conan the Barbarian's sword.
Oh, no kidding.
I ain't kidding.
Wow.
Straight up, dude.
Oh, wow. That's interesting, man.
It is very interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that sword actually had a name.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, that's very
The
interesting.
movie or the books, I wonder. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Man, I like, there's so much lore behind everything in Hollywood and all these stories. Like, I had no idea. Like the ivory katana, that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned Longclaw by Game of Thrones. But it might have been briefly mentioned. It's like those small details of like, names of weapons that you might just completely miss.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like roots. Like the Ashbringer is, I'm not even going to go into that. There's a lot of
Next
there's a lot
episode?
of WoW lore.
Lore
It has
of
to do with like
Ashbringer.
Nax from Mass, and like there was a corrupted Lightbringer, but then like Tyrion, was it Tyrion or Uther Lightbringer, cleansed it and then he used it against, it's just fucking.
That's awesome. We got a little bit out of him today, folks. A little bit of WoW
We got
nerdiness.
a little bit. It's okay. I have a reputation to uphold. But folks, that is it for this episode of
for
the
joining us,
PCFM
everybody.
podcast. Yeah, Izzy, you can take us out, man.
Oh, well, I was just saying, hey, thanks, everybody. It's been a fun time. Catch us on new episodes every week. And if you want to hang out and get the full experience, catch us on our Patreon. Until next time, folks, cue music. What's going on, everybody? You just listened to the free version of the PCFM podcast. If you want full-length versions of podcast episodes, plus much, much more, head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/PCFM podcast.
That is right, Israel. If you want access to this full episode, you have to subscribe to the Fuzzy Private tier, which is our cheapest tier on Patreon at $5 a month. But if you are interested in a little bit more, we also have the Salty Sergeant tier at $8 a month and the Lifer tier at $12 a month. So hopefully we will see you there, PCFM family. Cue music.